of analog and analysis. Uh, this is our third episode we're starting on today. We're going to be covering the West Division, myself and Dylan included.
Yeah, and we've been on a bit of a losing streak. I think you'll see when you see Rocky's screen, but our rank isn't doing too hot. So we're going to have trying to hop off that wagon and then talk about some of the news.
Yeah, it's
a
not
nice
looking
place to
too
start
good.
is that awkward Hoffman PTO.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about what's going on there. The only thing that I read, though, about it is that he still has the option and freedom to sign anywhere.
Yeah, I just
So,
find in a year where it's a shortened camp and there's no exhibition games, what's the point of a PTO if you're not staying there? And St. Louis is over the cap at the moment, so I don't know really are any teams sitting in their stands watching them at the PTO? Like, I don't understand it.
well, they're currently over the salary cap, but they can put Alex Steen, who's 5.75, and Vladimir Tarasenko, 7.5 cap hit on the LTIR. So,
That's
technically,
right.
they can free up the money to sign Hoffman.
Yeah, Steen, that was yesterday that Steen
Yeah.
retired, but not officially, so I can go on LTIR.
Yeah, and then Tarasenko underwent shoulder surgery this off season.
That does make sense now when you look at it. Hoffman going to St. Louis before that news came out, and now that it's out,
Speaking of
St. Louis
Tarasenko,
has a shot at signing him.
did you see that news report from a Russian newspaper saying that Tarasenko was PO'd, that he didn't get the captaincy?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, so I guess he was. It's in translation, so whether or not it's 100% true or not, I'm not 100% sure. But basically, the news report was saying Tarasenko was upset that O'Reilly was given the captaincy and not himself.
Well, Tarasenko never strikes me as a very vocal person in that dressing room or for that team, so it seems odd that he'd kind of expect to get it.
Yeah, but being from like Russia, I guess maybe people,
Yeah.
maybe over there, you think, okay, you've been there your whole career, you're one of the best players on the team, so you have loyalty and you have seniority. So maybe that's what he's relating it
Yeah.
to.
Who knows? Maybe this sparks a trade and he can go play with Panarin. That'd be pretty sick to see.
Oh man, that would definitely put my Rangers
Yeah.
into first place in that division.
You remember when they were like buddy buddy and Tarasenko was like, you gotta sign Panarin, you gotta sign Panarin, and then they didn't, and then the Hawks beat them in the playoffs, and there's that handshake line where Panarin was just loving life, and Tarasenko was like, get out of my face.
That
Remember
wasn't
that?
Tarasenko. That was Kucherov. That was when
I remember it
Panarin was
happening
with.
first with Tarasenko and Panarin.
Oh, I don't remember that, but I remember him and Kucherov when they swept the Lightning, and Panarin was all in Kucherov's face. And he
Yeah,
was
I
just
remember
annoyed with him.
Tarasenko being hard on the Blues for like, you gotta bring over my buddy Panarin, he's gonna be sick, and the Blues were like, no, and then, well, that doesn't really work out for St. Louis, but they win the cup anyway, so what am I
I'm really
saying?
starting to get annoyed with this LTIR. Everyone's just putting everyone on the LTIR. Here's like the
Yeah.
Tampa Bay has over $18 million on LTIR.
Yeah, that's. But what else are you going to do this season? There's so many teams over the cap. If you're trading away guys, other teams know that you have to make the trades. You're getting bad returns. You got to be creative to save some money this year, and that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to watch. Like Tampa Bay was in absolutely screwed with the cap, and now all of a sudden they're fine because of the LTIR
Yeah,
manipulation.
and yeah, well, hey, those are nice moves. Like we thought they were going to have to get rid of Tyler Johnson and Alex Killorn, and now they're going to start the season with both of them somehow. So, not bad moves at all.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they lost
Uh,
Coburn and Paquette, so a solid bottom six guy, number
yeah, I
seven D
miss Paquette.
man,
Paquette was really good there in Tampa, and he was there for a long time. But
and they
if
got
there's
it.
ever a
And
time to leave, it's after you win the cup. So
Ottawa got a second round pick out of it. So really, it's a
yeah,
win-win. The fact that
and
they
then
didn't
they
have to
shipped
give
that
up,
pick right over for Stepan.
uh, they
I don't
did
know
the
if it was that
trade.
pick, but it's still a second round pick.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. Theoretically, they got Stepan, Paquette, and Coburn for two
Yeah,
LTIR guys.
Yeah.
So
Good for
that's pretty
Ottawa.
good. Yeah, no doubt. They're definitely
Well,
get bringing in the veterans, shoring up their already decent looking roster.
yeah, Ottawa's going to be a force to be reckoned with in future years, but another team is the Oilers, who they get back Ethan Bear on a 2x2 deal.
Yeah, and they brought in
Do you think
Slater
Ethan Bear's
Cuckoo.
worth that 2x2, or do you think he's worth more?
Well, no one's getting paid what they're worth right now. Look at Sergachev,
Yeah.
look at Ethan Bear, like all over the league, everyone's taking bridge deals because they know that the owners need to get out of this cap hell that they're in without the cap going up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we're playing an Oilers fan.
Yeah, looks like it. And a Montreal fan. That's brutal. As a Flames and a Bruins fan, let's hope we can fire
Yeah,
these
that's
guys.
right. Well, Andreas Athanasiou went to Edmonton last year. He thought he was going to be able to put up points with McDavid and make bank. Instead, he kind of got buried in that lineup, and now instead of making bank, he signs a 1 by 1.2 in LA.
Well, Anthony Ciu he only played, what, 7 games in Edmonton?
Well, in the playoffs, you'd hope that you'd make an impact there, but
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. It'd be nice to see him do a turnaround with his career because when he was in Detroit, he had that one really good year. Then he had a bit of a holdout, and now everyone's just looking at him like, "Where's this guy that everyone else saw?"
so good in Detroit. There were those years where it was like him, Nyquist, and Yurko. They all looked to be great players, and now Yurko kind of revived his career there in Montreal, and he's looking good. But Nyquist looks like he was really the catalyst on that line for those years.
Yeah,
He's been looking great.
every
in Columbus.
time I think of Nyquist, I just think of that overtime shoot that he held the puck for what 2 minutes and skated in circles and circles and circles and then scored.
Yeah,
And the whole hockey world was just
it was
floored
like against
by
like
it.
Ottawa. Yeah, they're like, what a goal. I'm like, well, he did skate like 4 laps. I don't know how much talent was there.
Ooh, you got to get rid of that. Oh, nice. Well played. They're both coming at you. Get rid of it.
There you go. Another sick deal is that Corey Perry going to Montreal.
Yeah, that's a sweet signing.
What was that?
I would be so happy. Okay, so
no, it's
sorry
750.
I'm gonna backtrack for a second. Andreas Athanasiou
fine.
played 9 games for the Oilers and got 2 points, and he played 4 playoff games and got no points.
Yeah, he took a type of a Kevin LeBanc season, a nice. But what a team to do it on to play with McDavid. The fact that didn't work out is
nice
just.
try. Well, he's the perfect player to play with McDavid. Nothing but speed.
Yeah.
He's all speed, and all he has to do is tap it in. If Zach Cassian can put up points,
Yeah.
Athanasiou can put up points. But I
Yeah,
guess
if anything, he made Zach Cassian look good.
Yeah, but
Not so much himself.
They kept Tyler Ennis, so they obviously thought that was a better play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed the
Yeah,
team,
well,
man.
look at how good Ty Ratty looked on that line in preseason.
Yeah, well, preseason McDavid was like, I don't know.
But imagine if Athanasiou had that for 9 games instead of what he did.
He had 3 hat tricks in 9 games.
Yeah.
Let's go. But yeah, anyways, sorry to backtrack, but back to Corey Perry. What a great signing that was.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to be his last year? A $750,000 deal doesn't.
You know what I could see?
Like
I could see this
tank.
being his last regular season, and then I could see him signing on somewhere, pulling like a Justin Williams or a Mike Fisher, where he jumps onto a team late in the year just to go into playoffs, because that is what Corey Perry is built to do.
I'm surprised you don't see that more often, honestly. That was such a great move by Justin Williams. I forgot that Fisher did it too.
Well, Fisher was like the first one to do it. That's the one I remember the most. Was Fisher was like, I'm retiring, and then Carey Underwood's like, get out of my house because I'm sick of you.
Yeah.
And then he re-signed with Nashville on there. Oh, I wanted that puck back.
Oh man. Yeah, okay. Computer looked you off hard.
But yeah, Corey Perry is a great playoff performer. I'm just looking at
that Montreal team is making some some smooth off-season deals. They look like they're going to be a much different team next year, and if there's any year to do it, I guess it's when you're just a North Division. Oh, that kicked out right to you.
This is an easy goal, though.
There we go.
Alright, so I'm just looking here. He played 57 games last year and got 21 points for Dallas, but then he played 27 playoff games and got 9 points. So I guess it's not as good as I had it in my head, but he's always been basically a
But he's
point
just
per
such an
game,
impact player.
just under a point per game in playoffs his whole career.
It's like, how many times do you watch a game like during the playoffs last year where it's like, even if Corey Perry didn't have a point, you still heard his name every other minute. He was so involved.
Yeah, well, he
just does so much away from the score sheet
for Dallas last year.
A good time to get out of Anaheim when he did.
That's true. Anaheim is a sinking ship. Well, I mean, he was probably upset because he got bought out, so he probably wasn't too happy about that. But what are you gonna do? Oh, nice pass.
Computer.
Oh, shoot.
Timothy Stutzla signs his ELC right in the middle of World Juniors.
I think it's just a formality. Just get him signed. I don't know. Do you think he's gonna start the season there? Like he might get 9 games.
I think he definitely should be able to. But did you see the bonuses on that deal?
No, I didn't look at that.
So the contract is actually worth $10 million. He has $2.5 million in bonuses every year of that deal.
Are you serious?
He has an $832 base salary on it, but he gets signing bonuses,
worth bonuses. 10.275.
Yeah, I thought that was just a typo when I was on Cap Friendly. If you look at some of the deals, but that thing's bigger than all of them this year, just on bonuses.
Yeah, his AAV is 3.425.
Yeah, what a deal for that kid.
He has 2.5 million in performance bonuses. He has 92.5 million thousand in signing bonuses. His base salary is only 832, and then he has a salary in the minors of 80,000 if he plays there. Meaning that his whole thing is worth $10 million. Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh?
He also has a European assignment clause in this contract, meaning they can send him, instead of sending him down to the minors, they can send him overseas.
Yep. You know, I think you're seeing that a lot more with players, so that's how they're going to try to make their money. It's just all in bonuses.
Yeah, well, look at Toronto. Look how Toronto is dealing with all their guys. I think Matthews is making just as much as Stützle in base salary.
Yeah.
But Matthews, that was a tough look for you, Dill.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that puck would catch up to me. Oh.
Get rid of it.
Holy. Well, it's just you now.
That's fine. I was supposed to go to you. Yeah, these guys are not
but I think
good.
Carolina did the same thing.
Oh!
But to just a little bit less of an extent with Seth Jarvis. I believe he was a first-round pick. But his cap hit is $925. But he actually has a 4.2 value on that ELC.
Yeah.
A lot of kids making money that way.
He was a first-round pick? Yeah, first round. 13th overall this year.
Yeah.
I watched that draft. How did I not know his name?
I don't know. I thought he even played for Canada World Juniors last year.
Wow. Shows you how much I know.
Yeah. But that's a crazy World Juniors team this year. How many first-round picks are there?
Yeah. And the Edmonton...
And there are kids that... look at Tomasino. He's a first-round pick in Nashville. He was slated as, the 14th forward, and he's looked good every game.
Who?
His last name is Tomasino.
His last name is Tomasino. I thought his name was Thomas Inu. I'm like, who the heck is that?
Doesn't sound very Canadian. Oh, did you see that guy get clothesline on the crossbar?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Oh, way to just put it into his crest.
Yeah, at the last second I was squaring up and I just bombed that right back into the goalie.
Yeah, I know. I know the feeling. Done it many times.
Man, this game should not be 2-1.
No. Oh, he
Okay.
slashed you. Too bad you suck at
This
this.
isn't good. This isn't good.
But did you see that Slater? So I had to look up how to pronounce his last name because
Yeah,
if you
everyone
ask me, it's Koick, but
Yeah.
it's just Slater Cuckoo. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Just Cuckoo. Nice and simple. Yeah, you suck. He
Yeah.
got a nice
Yeah,
little.
Slater Cuckoo.
Yep, he got signed for 850K to Edmonton. 1 year, one-way contract. Not bad.
He's actually Canadian. Yeah, back in the day on NHL franchise mode, he had elite potential, and he was always on waivers. And you could sign him, and he'd go up to like 85 overall. Now, not so much, but he used to look
You think?
really good.
Whoa! You could have told me there what you were doing.
Yeah, I could have.
That's not a
Ooh.
penalty. Anyways, watch. Lee's gonna score for them.
Yeah, but which is good for Edmonton. They need D-men after Clefbaum's now out for the year.
Yeah, Clefbaum is out for the year. I don't know how we missed talking about this last week, but
Yeah.
Clefbaum is out for the year. Did you see what is wrong with him exactly? Surgery on something.
I thought it was a knee surgery last year, but he missed parts of last year too, didn't he? The second half of the season completely.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a
he's
long
had
one for the Oilers. So you bring in Barry, who is more of an offensive defenseman, who, kind of fits that Clefbaum style as kind of a replacement this year, and then you re-sign Bear, you can sign Slater Cuckoo, but I still think there's a few more signings that have to be done on that back end to replace a guy like Clefbaum.
Well, Slater, he just slots in as the seventh D, so it's not that big of a deal. It's 850K. It's all you really want to pay a seventh D man. You don't want to be paying him
Well,
over
it's all
$1
you
million.
really can. You're already over the cap hit.
Well, I'm sure they'll use LTIR to their advantage somehow.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
now
it's
it's a tie
2-2.
game. Whoops.
But yeah, because they're paying Darnell Nurse 5.6, Larson 4.1, Chris Russell 4 million, Tyson Berry 3.75, Ethan Bear, Caleb Jones.
Yeah, but they already have Clefbaum slated as LTIR, so...
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they can be over the cap until the start of the season, right? And then you have to be cap compliant when the season starts, and then that's when you can move to LTIR, and then you can be compliant. My favorite is just that they're still paying Lucic 750K.
Yeah. Just for fun.
Because James Neal's contract wasn't enough on its own, that they had to pay a little bit more.
That would have looked really good if you were prepared for that.
Yeah, that would have been nice. Too bad that you have no communication skills to tell me what you're doing.
Yeah, I get distracted,
Well, we are doing a streamcast, so makes sense. Let's see if the third time's the charm. No, I can't score that goal right now. God.
All three of them played to rebound. I probably should have played it at some point.
Probably.
Ooh. I think this game really changed on my missed penalty shot.
Yeah, well, because you suck.
Really got to learn how to score those. I should have just done that little movement in the hash marks where you go to the right. That seems to be working to me.
Anything else than what you did would have been sweet.
Shooting seems to be the thing in this game for penalty shots.
Yes, 100%. Deking is useless. But
here, let's see.
see
Who
that,
remains as UFAs?
Well, since we were talking about Edmonton, sorry, I'm going to go to Mark Letestu.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, did he? Letest Tube.
Yep. He was one of the best.
Everyone just called him Letest Tube.
One of the best was it power play guys? The guy just produced on the power play every year. Do you remember?
Kind of reminds me of Sekera when he was in Edmonton.
Yeah.
One of those guys who just passes through, and that's the point in their career where they don't look their best, and then they'll leave Edmonton, and then he look great again.
Yeah.
That seems to be every defenseman's.
He was more of a face. He was more of a face-off specialist than anything. He was always really good in the draws. They always put him in there in the important times. Like his best year of his career, he played really good in Edmonton. Played 78 games, 16 goals, 19 assists, 35 points, and in the playoffs he got 11 points in 13 games.
What year was that? 2016?
16-17 season.
Yeah, that's right. And they beat San Jose in the first round. And
that's when they went to the second round or third round. I can't remember. Third round, right?
Game 7 is second round. I think against Anaheim.
Second round. We got to get a goal here. That ain't gonna work though.
Yeah.
But anyways, I thought I'd bring him up. You know, he's got a good little career he put together. And then the one thing that I really wanted to talk about was how good is Michigan this year. Not that a lot of people care about college hockey or any of that, but Michigan has potential 3 guys to go in the top 10 of this year's draft. I'm down.
Who other than Kent Johnson? Kent Johnson's the only guy I can think of. Oh, computer. That would look so cool if you passed that to me.
Well, they have Kent Johnson. Then they have, I guess that York kid has just got drafted this year.
Oh, Cam York. He's a prospect for Philly.
Yeah. But they
I think that was a couple years ago.
They also have Luke Hughes.
Right.
And then, there's one more. I'm going to look it up real quick.
That Berniers guy, is he in Michigan?
Yes, I believe that is who it is. But Kent Johnson just looks awesome. I had the privilege of watching him in person when he was here and playing for the Trail Smoke Eaters, lighting it up. Watched him score it. Oh my goodness!
Stop tripping me, Trip Rocky.
Yeah, no doubt. I watched him score a. Actually, funny enough that he went to Michigan because I watched him score a Michigan goal. Yeah,
there we go. So that's what I should have done the first time. I called it. I said the hash marks go to the right. Shooting's what you got to do. Should have listened to myself.
Yeah, he's playing. Kent Johnson's playing with John Beecher too, former first round pick by the Bruins.
Yeah.
Who got cut from the World Juniors this year, the U.S. World Junior team, because of his roommate had his roommate had COVID, or tested positive for COVID.
And so he got
way. Cut? So yeah, because the way it is this year is if you get caught with if you get test positive for COVID, even if it is a false positive, you are then kicked out of the World Juniors for that year.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of James Harden.
And then anyone else who was associated with you or close contact is also out.
You see what's going on in the NBA right now? That gross league. You see, it was a GM of another team posted, because at the time he was the GM of the Houston Rockets when James Harden, I don't know, put up some crazy stat. And so he retweeted it the other day. He was like, on this day in history, he's like, I have an app that tells me what happens on certain days. And it reminded me, like, on this day, like, a year ago, James Harden put up this many points. But because he was the GM of another team currently, he got fined $50,000 for tampering.
What?
For just being like, yeah, James Harden put up 40 points a year ago today. And you got fined $50K.
Wow.
The NBA is such a joke. Like, honestly.
I'm not a huge NBA fan, but I've been watching it a bit more recently. I'm surprised that didn't go.
Yeah, that's right. You're in that fantasy league.
I joined that fantasy basketball league.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah. Oh, I was even gliding. I should have just picked it up.
Yeah.
You should have went for it. But yeah, so back to Kent Johnson. Hopefully he goes number 1 overall. They have no defense lined up.
Who is the projected number 1 overall? This draft seems like such a weird draft where there's no household names.
Yeah, there isn't. Well, you have the 13th Hughes brother joining the draft.
Yeah.
So Luke Hughes is supposed to. There it is.
That was a gift.
Yeah. 20.
Like, you even look at this World Juniors, the kids that you're like, oh, you better watch out for this guy. They're always like the 16-year-olds for like the 2024 draft. I don't see anyone for this draft.
A lot of people are looking toward.
Does that Atu Ratty is his name? The Finnish kid.
He's this year. He's this year. They just tripped. Okay. Whatever works.
Yeah.
So, right now, we're looking at Bernier. It might be even Benier.
I thought it was Berniers. I'm going to keep calling him Berniers until I learn otherwise.
There's no R, though. It's Beniers, then. Beniers.
Like, remember when Athanasiou was Athanasio?
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking.
Or is he still Athanasio?
So this is the guy I was talking about for Owen Power is the projected first overall pick right now on Sportsnet's top
Owen Power? What a name.
Defenseman for Michigan.
Well, with a name like Owen Power, I'd take him first overall.
Yeah, he's a defenseman.
How many sick Power jerseys do you have? Oh, I got it.
Oh yeah, easy.
Oh, goalie saved that
So
too.
yeah,
It went
he's
off his blocker and in.
freshman, defenseman at Michigan. Then you got Carson Lambos. I like Carson Lambos. He plays for Winnipeg Ice in the dub. Then you got
Playing
for
with Peyton
Lunda,
Krebs.
Edvinson for Lunda, Dylan Gunter, and then Brant Clark, who is also... Those top five, I think, are all pretty interchangeable as to where they're probably going to get picked. So there's no consensus 1-2 like most years. Oh, there.
Oh, thank goodness you put that in after the
No
pass I made.
doubt. Oh, they're quitting. But yeah, then you got
I
Luke
would quit after that
Hughes,
pass.
Matthew Beniers, Kent Johnson. So those are the three guys: Beniers, Johnson, and Power, who all play at Michigan.
Wow.
I'm kind of
I see a lot of kids coming out of college nowadays that you wouldn't expect to see. Like the goalie for Team Canada in the World Juniors, Devin Levi, he actually plays for Northeastern. Like, he doesn't even come out of the CHL.
Oh,
Don't see that very often, that a college kid comes to play goalie for Team Canada.
yeah. Wow.
But so many, like, look at Alex Newhook and what he's been able to do playing
Yeah, the
college
two.
hockey.
Well, look at Well, college hockey's it's changing a bit compared to what. It's not guaranteed that every kid's just going to go to the dub anymore.
Yeah,
Or
I
the-
find
or
it
the-
harder to really judge a player's skill. Like, I remember the hype around Jack Eichel, and I'd watch BU games, and I never really saw it. I'm like, but then you see like a guy like McDavid the same year put up like 160 points. You know, every game he's just running past people, but you never really see that in college. But then you see he gets to the
It's
NHL, and that talent
more
was there.
solid. It's a more difficult league. That's all it is.
Yeah, prepares the kids for a pro sooner.
Yeah, and you're getting
Like-
and you're getting a degree while you're doing it. So if I was
Yeah.
a kid and it was either, depending on where, I guess, because like if it was like my hometown team that I always wanted to play for, then maybe I would
Yeah.
think about it differently. But I would probably like to go to college. Yeah,
But like,
that's
look
just
at a school like Harvard. It's Harvard, and you're competing for the Beanpot. Like, how sick is that? Oh, come
our
on,
computer
computer.
just took an offensive penalty.
What was there, like 6 seconds left?
Yeah,
And he's
But you
taking
know-
penalties?
it's kind of funny what shows about this year's draft, because on Team Finland, Atu Ratti, probably top 10 pick this year,
Yeah.
isn't even on the team. But his brother, Aku Ratti, third or fourth round pick from Arizona a couple years ago, is.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like an odd draft year where even like the draft eligible players like a year behind them seem to already be more what people are looking at. Like,
Yeah.
look, Shane Wright. Like, how many people are more excited over Shane Wright than they are anyone in this draft?
Yeah, I agree for sure. Shane Wright looks really well. He's anyone who comes into the league with exceptional status is automatically going to get hyped up high,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So-
207 for that game. Oh my.
I'm 2,400
230.
points away from my.
Yeah. Hey, me too. I'm 2473 to my next rank. I'm further away than you. Yeah.
Wow.
So we gotta get on a heater soon. But I'm like 10 XP away from being P2 level 4.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So you want to break down this division?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's start it off.
Okay. It's the West Division. It's Anaheim, Arizona, Colorado, LA, Minnesota, San Jose, St. Louis, and Vegas. It's a very either you're good or you're not good type division, you know?
Yeah, I kind of broke it up into 3 parts. I have 3 teams that are going to make playoffs, 3 teams that might make playoffs, and 2 teams that won't make playoffs.
Okay, well let's talk about Anaheim. They lose Michael Delzato, Eric Goodbranson, and Matt Irwin, 3 defensemen, and then they bring in Kevin Shattenkirk, which it's good for Anaheim, but I never saw coming for Kevin Shattenkirk.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just like, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my career on the West Coast, in
Losing,
sunny
you know?
California. Like, I don't entirely understand it, but what am I?
It has to be the sun and beach is what he's going for, because you ain't winning.
Yeah.
That's for sure. They also signed Derek Grant. He was in Philly, but both players get 3-year deals.
Derek Grant, he was
Which
in
is
Philly, but he
pretty
came
nice for
back.
them.
He was in Anaheim.
He was
before.
overseas, wasn't he?
No, wasn't he drafted by Anaheim?
I don't know. You look that up. I'll talk about who they re-signed.
Yeah, look that
Uh,
up.
we have Larson at 2 by 1.2. Sonny Milano they bring back for 2 years at 1.7, and then Troy Terry already done his ELC and gets another 3 years at just 1.45, which I think is the real nice deal out of their offseason. Really underrated contract. Troy Terry, who's a first round pick, looks great in everything he's done. To get 1.45 for 3 years as such a young kid, great deal.
Yes, I agree. I do really like the Troy Terry signing.
And then so he plays along with Sam Steele, and who's that third kid that they have on that line?
Okay, I was sorry to bring this up, but Derek Grant, I was wrong. He was drafted by Ottawa, but he
Yeah.
did play for Anaheim in 2017, 2018. Signed with Pittsburgh
Did
for a year, got traded back to Anaheim, played there for 2 years, went to Philly, then signed back with Anaheim.
was he ever overseas? Who am I thinking of?
No, not at all. He played in the BCHL, then he went to Michigan, then he played in the A and the NHL ever since.
Okay, well, Anaheim, they have two rookies who could crack the lineup this year. Trevor Zegras and Jamie Drysdale. Two very good-looking
Oh man,
prospects.
Zegers is gonna make the NHL. The guy is insane this year.
And Ottawa was it Ottawa who took Sanderson over Drysdale this draft?
Yes, but
That's
it's
how
how
he
you
got to
look at
Anaheim?
it, right? No, it's
Yeah.
how you look at it because Sanderson was considered the more like he's more of a puck moving D man, whereas Drysdale's more of an offensive D man, and they also play opposite sides. So I think Sanderson is is a left handed D man, plays on the left side, and whereas Drysdale's a right handed D man, plays on the right side, but they don't need a right side defenseman.
Yeah, well, either way you look at it, Jamie Drysdale looks great, and I think he has a real shot at cracking the lineup as a rookie next year.
Yep. Hopefully they actually hold on to one of their D men.
Yeah, it's true. They seem to get rid of him there. Sammy Vatanen's still UFA waiting for a deal. Maybe he can come back. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Arizona.
But okay, yeah.
You want to keep talking about Anaheim? Anaheim is just such a boring team to talk
I was
about this
just gonna
year.
talk about all the defensemen they let go, but it's okay.
Okay.
Go for it.
Well, who did they let go?
Well, they let they turned Josh Manson into a D man, then they let that Brandon Montour walk. They traded Shea
Yes, that's
Theodore,
right.
gave up on him. That's just two very recent ones that I was going to talk
Yeah,
about.
Shea Theodore leaving it. That's right, and Brandon Montour to Buffalo. I forgot about the Montour one.
Because Montour, when they went to the playoffs a few years back, was insanely good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, it was just that 1 year where Josh Manson was paired up against McDavid in the playoffs that made him look like the keeper, but really, I think Shea Theodore is the one that you would have liked to keep out of the three of them, for sure.
yeah, Shea Theodore is. It took him a little bit, but he is now
Yeah.
the
Sneaky
best of
pick for
those
the
guys.
Norris this year. Let's throw
Yeah.
that out there.
There you go.
Okay, so let's go to Arizona. This is a tough team to talk about because they lost a lot, including draft picks because of John Jacob. But on top of that, they lose Hall, Hinestroza, Richardson, Soderberg, Grabner, and Stepan.
And out of all of those guys, well, they bought out Grabner, so they still have to pay him on his buyout. They got a second round pick out of Stepan, so at least you got something.
And on top of that, you're thinking about giving away Ekman Larson.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
you're
they
really
almost
talking
did.
about heavy rebuilding. Which is
Yeah.
a shame because it looked like they were about to get younger, about to get better, and then they lose their picks, they lose their GM.
Yeah, Taylor Hall
It was a rough turn.
signed with Buffalo. I think that took everyone by surprise. Hinestroza went to Florida. Richardson went where? I can't remember.
I believe
where
Richardson went to Nashville. He eliminated them from the playoffs
Yes.
and then signed there.
Yep. Nashville. He's a bottom six, really good guy, really good face-off guy, good penalty killer. Plays with a bit of an edge, which is really good. But so it's hard.
And when
watch.
you see a lot of people going out, you want to see people coming in, and not a lot in Johan Larson, Tyler Pitlick, and John Hayden.
So the thing about
Right.
Larson though is Larson kind of fits that Richardson vibe. Same idea. A little bit of a tougher guy, bottom six guy.
Hmm.
But
This is definitely a year where you have to hope that guys like Phil Kessel has a bounce back year, Clayton
you're
Keller
hoping
has
you're
a
hoping
bounce back year.
Barrett Hayden jumps in and
Yep.
helps out that lineup.
Yeah, but
Definitely.
you like even as a part of prospects, you don't have a lot. You have Barry Hayden who can come in as a first round pick, and then Victor Soderstrom,
The D.
he's in the World Juniors this year. He's a defenseman,
Yeah.
and he was a first round pick in 2019. But
They actually
after that,
traded
you
up
won't
to
have a
get
lot
him
of first
too.
round picks. Yeah,
So
you bring back Aiden Hill as a goalie, Ilya Labushkin, and Christian Fisher.
mhm.
You gotta like Christian Fisher. He's a real honey badger for that team.
He's very good. I do enjoy watching Christian Fisher. He can play the middle of the lineup. He's definitely not going to slot into your
Yeah.
top line or put up 50 points, but he's definitely
Arizona does find a way to get weird output from players. Like Connor Garland led their team in scoring. Like,
will talk it, man. He's a great coach.
yeah,
All
you
I
gotta
hear
hope you
is
can
just good
pull
things
something
out
out
of
of
them
these
all.
guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Ooh, Colorado.
Yeah, they're a good team, and they just got
Yeah,
better, I'd say.
yeah. You lose Nemesnikov, Zadorov, and Colin Wilson. That's it. And then you bring in Brandon Saad and Devon Taves.
Yeah, Devin Taves was an interesting one to bring in because you already have a pretty good defense.
Like,
Just taking a
how young is this decor now? Like,
well, that's just
insane
it.
decor.
Just listen to these guys. Like they're taught. They already have Makar, Ryan Graves, Sam Girard. I'm a big fan of Girard. Then you got
Hmm.
Johnson, who's hurt right now. But then to fill out your bottom three, you have Devin Taves, Ian Cole, Bowen Byram, or Connor Timmins. So you got
Yeah.
four guys to fill out two spots.
Yeah, like Connor Timmins as a defenseman and Bowen Byram as a defenseman, who are rookies who can come in after you've already had Ryan Graves and Kale McCarr come in. Like it's
Yeah,
now you bring in
and then
Devin Taves. It's
and he
so
signed a
young, and
4-year
they're gonna be
deal.
so good. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're a
And then
very good
Brandon
team.
Saad is, he just has the 1 year left. He has $5 million on his contract. They had a lot of cap space, and so it's nice because they'll get that cap space back for next off season. I
They
really
still
thought
have a
they'd
ton.
push for Taylor Hall. I thought that would have been nice to get him as a 1 year deal.
Yeah,
But it's still a really good team. They
they
have a
are
first
very
round pick
good
in
team, yeah.
2018 who hasn't made the team yet, Martin Kaut, who can play. Like, look out for this team. They're good, but the scary part is that they're young.
And they actually right now they're only projected to have 1.8 million in cap space.
Yeah, after that Taves signing and bringing in Sod.
And
But you
yeah,
lose Sod
that's
next
true.
year, so you'll get like 6 in a bit next year, which is nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, they're going to be a
Okay,
good
so-
team to watch either way.
Yeah, top 2 team in this division, guaranteed. Let's go on to LA. Now, LA doesn't have much to talk about really as far as
I was just going to
roster
say,
players.
you think that Anaheim was boring to talk about?
So I'm going to quickly run through these because it's the rookies that you have to talk about on this team. So you lose Trevor Lewis and Joakim Ryan, and you bring in Oli Mata and Elias Anderson. Nice move to bring in Elias Anderson,
I
former
like
first-round
Elias
pick of the
Anderson.
Rangers.
He's got a lot of proof.
Yeah, youth movement on such a young team. It's a nice fit. Sean Walker, I hadn't actually heard of, and making 2.6. I was actually wondering where he came from. He's 26. He actually went undrafted. So for an undrafted player to get 4 years at 2.6, he has 109 games played with LA with 34 points, which is really good out of an undrafted player.
Sean Walker.
And then they
Yeah.
bring in Wags at 3/1.
Which Wagner is that?
Austin Wagner
Oh, Austin Wagner
believe.
from Nashville.
from yes, yeah, that Wagner.
That's right. Yeah, the guy who he's had a tough career.
Okay, but listen to this. This is the important part if you're a Kings fan. Rookies that can crack this lineup, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first-round picks. In Byfield, they're one from 2020. 2019 first-round pick, Alex Turcotte. 2019 first round pick again, Tobias Bjornfort. First round pick 2017, Gabriel Velarde. And first round pick in 2018, Rasmus Kupari. Like, so many first round picks
They
who
also
look
have
good that can join the team.
They also have this Kaliev playing for the USA right now, and
Yeah.
he should have been a first round pick consensusly, but I guess he has a bit of an attitude problem, bit of an ego on him, so he dropped to the second round. But that right there is another steal for them.
Hey, playing with Kupari, you know, I can't believe how they've stocked their cupboards in LA. That is so many good talent in just 3 years of draft. 2017,
Yeah.
well, I guess 4 years, 17, 18, 19, and 20. To have 5 first-round picks joining your team in 3 years, incredible. Yeah. And then 2 second-rounders on top of that can join the team. Great job drafting.
Yeah, LA's definitely done a good job of turning themselves around here. I really like this Gabriel Velarde.
Yes. It took him a while to...
He played a couple games
he's a 2017 draft pick. And the fact that, you know, these guys in like 2019 are already catching up to him and cracking a spot for the lineup, but he has looked good as of recently.
He played 10 games and got 7 points.
Yeah.
In the NHL, which is pretty good because he's not playing top 6.
Mm-hmm.
Then he played, he split the time between the NHL and the AHL, and he got 25 and 32 in the AHL. Mm-hmm. On what is a pretty decent AHL team.
Yeah, well, hey, with all that young talent, I'd hope it is.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that California road trip, it used to be one that teams were afraid of, but now it's looking like a nice little trip to pick up some points. Now this year, I guess, only if you're in the West Division you get to make that road trip, but
yeah, that's true.
I guess next year will be nice. That must suck if you're a player in Edmonton or Vancouver and you're like, those cold winter days, at least you get a road trip to California. But now it's like, don't worry, you have a week off to go to Winnipeg. That's gotta suck.
Yeah, instead of going on
instead of going a Cali trip.
Yeah, instead of going the West Coast swing, you're just staying in Canada where it's cold all the time. The one good thing though is that they're gonna be around here for. Ooh, these guys are not good. This guy has 1,200 goals, but is a silver 1.
Oh, what?
How does that work? Oh, gosh.
Yeah, his teammate has 550 goals. I don't even have like 120.
We're gonna be.
You have 663. Oh my.
Yeah, well, just because I'm better at this game than you, Dylan, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
What jerseys? So creative.
Yeah, I don't understand teams that use the stock jerseys.
Yeah, me neither.
I understand it more than the teams that use that try to recreate the NHL jerseys.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like the colors are a little off and the logos are just a little wonky.
The design's not quite there.
Yeah.
Jersey design. Oh, I almost got that over to you. Stay over there. Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, he's fast.
Yeah, I don't know how I couldn't catch up to him, but.
Okay, I'm gonna be a little late. There it is.
Yeah, and he trips you.
Darn it, stop tripping me.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I'm 1-1 today. 1-1. That is great percentage for me. 50%.
Let's see.
Okay, let's make it 66.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In my defense, that looked good. It hit the knob of his stick. You gotta give me a little bit of credit. I've had worse attempts.
That's true.
Heck, my first attempt today was worse.
Watching in the World Juniors, did you see how bad Spencer Knight played the other day?
Yeah. As a Flames fan, it was nice to see Dustin Wolf get some action.
That's true.
Like, you never like rooting against people, but I was kind of rooting against Spencer Knight. Because I was hoping that this year he wouldn't play and it'd be Wolf's net for the World Juniors.
Well, how do you not play Spencer Knight, though?
Yeah. Well, hey, I guess by signing Bobrovsky.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I was all over that guy. There we go.
And then you saw Russia get upset by
yeah, I was actually going to talk about that. Askarov. You weren't expecting to see that from that guy.
Yeah, he seemed
The
like the
first
one
round
guy in this
pick.
tournament where it was like a man amongst boys. He's already playing professional hockey. He's got a big boy contract in the KHL. He's like leaned upon there. And then he comes over to play in the World Juniors. You'd think he'd be more dominant than he has been. I don't know. You don't worry about it if you're a Nashville fan, but
Nashville.
it doesn't. Like, you thought you'd see more.
There it is.
There we go. We finally get on the board.
Yaroslav Askarov. Like, he's played the World Juniors this year. Oh, they don't show any points.
Yeah, IHF seems to keep all their stats under wrap pretty good.
But he's playing killer in the KHL right now. In 7 games, he has 4 wins, and he's posting a .962 save percentage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. As he looked good in professional hockey, you think he'd look better playing against 17-year-olds.
You would think.
From the Czech Republic.
I
okay.
don't know.
I feel like I had a backdoor tap in.
Another
player that I wanted to bring up that I forgot I wanted to bring up was, you remember Zane McIntyre in Boston?
McIntyre. Yes, the goalie.
He was like a third goalie there. He's played. He got a PTO. Oh, who with?
Oh, I was trying to get that to you, but I lost it.
Okay, I don't remember who with. But I looked up his stats in the KHL this year. He has 7 games. He has almost a 5 GAA and a 7.67 save percentage.
What?
He got a PTO in the NHL. He looked so bad in the KHL.
Wow. Sorry.
But hey, I guess that's enough to get you a...
McIntyre, eh?
I think the hard part to keep track of with all these young Russian kids is how you're supposed to say their names.
Shoot.
Like, everyone's like, yeah, it's Askarov. He hit World Juniors, 10 seconds in, Bob McKenzie, Askarov. And you're like, well, I don't know if I'm saying it right anymore.
Yep.
And then you get someone like Sakharov who's like, yeah, I'm Sakharov for like half my career, and then boom, now I'm Sakara.
Yeah. Well, then you got, who is it? Oh, yeah, Connor Sherry. That's a big one right now. He wants to be called Sherry. That's his name. It's Connor Sherry. And everyone's like, Connor Sherry.
Yeah.
Or Connor, Pedersen. Oh. They even asked him, and he said, yeah, my name is... Just call me Peterson.
Like, you guys will butcher it, so don't even attempt it.
Yeah. No way.
That's a rough one, goalie.
Man.
The way he took that pass and shot it, how is there that much net?
Man, no wonder McIntyre got a contract offer last year, though. He played 4 games in Binghamton, and he posted a .977.
Oh, well, hey, I didn't even look at those stats. That does make him a little bit better.
It was only in 4 games, but yeah. He got a PTO in the NHL? How did I not see this?
Forget who. I think it might have been Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
I think that's who he was last with.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But speaking of goalies and PTOs, the Caps lose Hank, but you bring in Craig Anderson on a PTO. Which
that's really all they had for options. You need. Like, other than Anderson, it's Jimmy Howard. It's the only guy available.
Yeah. I thought Craig Anderson got a little bit of a bad rap this offseason. I thought he'd land somewhere sooner. It's a bad Ottawa team that he was playing with. He played almost 40 games last year, had a 3.25 and a 9.02. But it was with that bad Ottawa team. I think he can still be good for a good team.
Yeah.
I think he's a sneaky guy to look out for this season as a little bit of a bounce-back opportunity. Because bouncing from Ottawa to any other team, I think, is a great way to try to boost your stats.
No, I agree with that. He's a good goalie. He's proven it his whole career. He can battle through anything. He can play through anything. And signing in Washington, and what's the worst that can happen on a PTO? Like, really nothing.
Hey, Game 7 of a conference final in 2018?
Yeah.
That Carlson year?
They lost to
you look at that team, he's got to be better than people think. Because that team wasn't that great, and it's a conference final team.
Boston in 7.
Yeah, that's right.
That was tough to watch. Clark MacArthur just ruined my dreams that year. Man.
Yeah. Hoffman's still trying to bank off of that playoff run.
Yeah. I'm off.
Yeah, a lot of players from that team
You want to get on side, Dylan?
Oh, I thought it was
What
a
are you
whistle.
doing?
I thought you already went offside, and I thought the play was
No, I'm
over.
saying I am
Whoops.
offside, and you're standing in the zone. Goodness, pay attention.
Yeah, it might be.
It's not what you want to do, especially not on a stream.
Yeah, in a one-goal game, too.
Yeah, we just lost some
Yeah.
viewers for that. Way to go.
Might be.
But what are you going to do?
Here, I'll
I
make
guess?
up for it with this great defense. That's all I gave him. Oh, okay. I thought we just learned not to put the game on me, and you're calling it out to my tape.
Well, I was right beside you, so in
Ooh.
my defense. Oh, what?
He's just standing there.
Looks like you.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 on 0, 2 on 0.
Yeah.
Let's
nice
go.
Tap in.
I made up for it. I made up
There you
for
go.
it. We're
I don't know what
good.
that. I don't know what kind of defense that was.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it felt like it was a 2 on 1 until he just gave up.
Did you see about the reports that are going after Cam Atkinson?
Yeah, saying that he's only good
About
with Panarin.
The only
And he's
reason
like,
he
I
is
clearly scored
good.
before he got there.
Yeah, he's like, I had 35 goals the year before Panarin got there, and the 27 the year before that. So
Yeah, and he looked good this year without him. Like, I don't know why anyone's saying that.
yeah,
I think Cam Atkinson is a great
people
player.
just wanted to get under his
Oh,
skin.
okay.
He's still mad
you
at
trip him?
no.
Oh, I thought you tripped him.
He's still mad at Brad Marchand for stepping on his blade. He's still trying to get that $300 out of him.
I would too. Brad Marchand, that's like
right.
the worst garbage move to do in hockey. Imagine all those kids watching playoffs and seeing Brad Marchand snap a stick with a skate before a face-off, thinking it's cool. And then
Why
you do
not?
that when you're like 14 in some league, and then your parents have to buy him a new stick. Like, this is all you. I'm just chilling back here.
Oh, I cannot score that goal today. I've missed it so many stinking times.
Yeah, you seem to try to pin all the losses on me. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm playing as bad as you might think.
Well, sorry that I have to be both defensive and offensive production here. Meanwhile, I'm a sniper. I don't know how I'm playing any defense at all.
So some other hockey news to talk about is Jack Roslovic and
Oh gosh.
Jonathan Toews not showing up for training camps this year.
I don't see how
albeit
that's-
for separate reasons.
I don't
Probably
see
should
how
have lumped
that's
them together.
not COVID. He feels extremely tired and nausea or whatever it is. He said he
But
feels lethargic.
it seems to be
that's
something
the
that he's
word.
been battling with for a while, you know? I don't think this is a recent development. I think this is something that he's been battling with maybe last year too.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, there's no time.
Oh, it's out of time.
Thank
Oh.
goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll try to
yeah.
pull up his statement here.
It's right here.
This
I got
off
it.
season, I've been experiencing symptoms that have left me feeling drained and lethargic. I'm working with doctors so I can better understand my condition. Until I get my health back to a place where I can feel I can perform at an elite level and help my team, I will not be joining the Blackhawks for training camp. I do not have a timetable for when I'll rejoin the team. I'm extremely disappointed, but it wouldn't be fair to myself or my teammates to attempt play in my current condition. Geez, reading is hard.
After Toews said something about the fact that they are rebuilding and that he felt left out of it, Bowman started poisoning him.
Well, honestly, when I first saw Toews isn't going to be at training camp, I was like, oh dang, he's literally like, I'm not playing for this team anymore. That was my
Yeah.
initial reaction. Because the way he was talking in the off season, I thought he wasn't showing up to training camp because he's like, yeah,
whatever.
you guys haven't even re-signed Strome.
Throw him on the LTIR.
Hey,
Just
might
like
be
everyone
well.
else.
Yeah.
Jeez. Everyone else who's not playing this year, just throw him on the LTIR. Throw him on the LTIR.
That's probably what it is. They're like, hey, we're having a hard time signing Strome. We want to give him 10 mil, and that's kind of what you're making. You
Yeah,
want to
can you
hop
just,
on
like,
the
fake an
LTIR
illness?
train? Yeah.
Just for the
You'd
year,
be like
though.
Marion Hossa and just say you're allergic to hockey equipment. Like 14
Ooh,
seasons
low
in.
blow.
This seems to be the Chicago thing to do.
Oh,
Okay, that should land on them.
oh.
Right on your tape. But yeah, Jack Roslovic saying that he's
So why
basically
isn't
wanting
he?
to trade out of Winnipeg.
Really?
He said, I don't want to
Oh,
sign
no.
here. I'm not coming to training camp with a new contract, so trade me.
Yeah, that sucks. Wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Where'd you get
Jack
that?
Roslovic is looking for a change of scenery, and the Jets have explored trade possibilities, but if a deal can't be reached, a new contract must be signed before Roslovic is in or plays for the Jets.
Huh.
So basically, this week is going to be a race to see can you get him signed or can you get him traded. He just
I
must
like
be
Jack.
unhappy with the deals that he's getting offered. I like him too, and I think that's maybe why this is happening, is he's
Well,
feels
in
like
his
he's getting
defense,
underpaid.
in his defense, Winnipeg has no money to sign him, so they're
And they're
probably
not. It's
lowballing
not the
him.
best place to play.
Oh, I got that through. That should be in.
Like they made that poll amongst NHL players where it was like, "What's your least favorite building to play in?" And they're like, "Yeah, Winnipeg." No one
Really?
wants to play in Winnipeg on a Wednesday in
Nice.
February. You know.
That's true. Just got posted. The Oilers signed Stanton and Shore, Devin Shore, and Ryan Stanton to PTOs.
Stanton's a defenseman, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, I remember when which Shore brother was in Calgary. I think it might have been Drew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty sure it was Drew.
You know, they always seem to stick around, both of them. Because it feels like when one isn't playing, the other one is.
Yeah.
And so there's always at least one Drew or Devin Shore in the league at a time.
Well, one was just with I think, was it
Dallas.
Drew or Devin? Dallas, yeah.
That's what I mean. You can never keep track of which one. You just know that one of them's doing something.
One of them's in the league.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe this game is tied.
Yeah, we are not playing great right now. And these
Look at that
guys
glove
are
save,
not
though.
great.
No. These are the type of games that we've been losing where it's like, we gain 250 CR one game, we lose 650 the next game.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're so far away. What
EA
kind of
really
pass
needs to
is
fix
that?
that system.
Do you see that pass? Is like a child passed it.
Yeah, well, what else can you expect from the computer?
You know, tape to tape. He knows where it is. Find me.
So poor Chicago is already bad, and they're going to lose Toews, but now they also lose Kirby. Dach is out for 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, we like
Last stream I was like, it must be like at least a month. 4 months
yeah,
is the
that was
minimum.
you saying that it was like a big.
Like his hand did not look okay.
Yeah,
But I did not expect 4 to 5 months. That is tough. But
Yeah, he
hey,
broke his wrist, so he already went underwent surgery. So now he's just recovering. Just dish it to the
yeah, it isn't really good for the NHL this year, having both Chicago and Detroit kind of being lottery teams, you know? That's not what you like
Yeah.
to see out of those original 6 franchises. But I think
Oh,
Chicago
get
has
back.
definitely sealed their case for fighting for a ping pong ball this year.
Oh, I was right on him. I guess I should have hit him. Son of a gun, man.
Okay, I'll stop talking. We'll focus up to this last minute and 30 and just try to tie this game. Because that is a silver one,
Jeez.
and that is a lot of CR that we are going to lose.
Yeah.
Like
this
a
is
lot.
not good. I don't see it. Our goaltender was there. I don't see how we didn't get it though. These guys aren't very good. Okay. Defensively either. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. I went in for
Some
a
will
hit.
show up here. I feel like they're going to rag it. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
way to go, Dylan, our man back.
The
Oh.
guy in the center called it from the computer, so I was
Dylan,
like,
it's
okay,
a
he's getting the
3-on-1.
Oh, of course I screwed it up.
The one time I rely on your passing ability. Yeah.
There we go. You can pass at least. Thank goodness one of us can.
Jeez, I have no energy. I'm gonna call timeout.
Okay, makes sense. We have 30 seconds. We don't want to blow this.
No.
Let's at least get a point here.
Well, we're gonna get a point. Did you see that? Well, I mean, it's impossible not to see how Canada scored 16 on Germany.
More goals than Germany had shots.
Yeah, Germany had 15 shots at the end of it, and Canada had 16 goals.
Germany kind of reminded me of the Denver Broncos. You know, it was like Germany didn't really have a goalie that they wanted to play, and the Broncos didn't really have a quarterback that they wanted to play.
There you go.
COVID kind of chewed up both their rosters, and they had both embarrassing games. And it just goes to
Yeah.
show you like how well they have to manage it this season, because Germany, with players on COVID and having to be isolated, lose 16-2 to Canada. They get players back,
Yeah.
and what happens? They beat Slovakia in overtime, 4-3.
Yeah.
Very next day. Well, I guess it was 2 days later. But that goes to show you how different teams can play when they have to isolate, 4 or 5 players. How all of a
It's
sudden
so
they go
tough.
from good to bad.
Oh, gee. Center gave up. Oh, come on. What are you doing?
Well, there's 10 seconds left, so I'm just chilling playing defense.
Oh, nice.
'Cause
First
I
time
know
in
they're
your
gonna be
career
cherry
playing
picking.
defense. They're actually both
Yeah.
sitting back.
I know, but I thought the one guy was doing the whole fake. Oh, my controller's
Oh,
dead, and
maybe
then he
he
starts
was.
skating when you stop playing him.
Man, we dominated that last minute. Good thing you stopped talking.
That's the key.
I got 270 for
Hey.
that.
The fact that I think we only have like one loss on 3 streams,
Yeah, it's
I think
true.
that was pretty good for considering I'm talking while we're playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, geez, I got quite a bit of CR for that.
I got 5 assists. You got 5 goals.
That is what you don't see very often.
You never.
That's how
see
you know
that.
I'm off my game, when I finish with no assists. When I rely on you to give me tap-ins.
Yeah. No
'Cause
doubt.
let's face it, it's normally the other way around.
Yeah, I always have the goals. You always have the assists.
I give you the breakout pass behind our own net, and then you go end to end, and then I get the apple.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 4 more teams in the West to break down. Let's start in good old Minnesota, where you never know what they're doing.
Most boring team in hockey.
Yeah,
They're 69 years old on average.
yeah. Oh man, so you lose Dubnik, Stahl, Koivu, Galchenyuk, Luke Cunnin, and Ryan Donato. So you lose some
All-
old guys, you lose some young guys.
All of
But-
those are big names. Like a
All of
normal
them.
hockey fan will recognize every one of their names.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and good on them for getting rid of the Eric Stahl and Mikko Koivu contract, but not good on them
Yeah.
for not finding a way to keep Luke Cunnin and Ryan Donato.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
they judged what they got
what
a
are you
third round
doing?
pick. Third round pick for
Yeah.
Donato.
It's
Just
not a good look if you're Minnesota.
not
so
enough.
that's the thing. So you lose that youth, and then you bring in Nick Bonino and Marcus Johansson. Like, they're moving the wrong way to get
The
better
thing
in
is,
the
though,
future.
is that they're bringing in 1-year contracts. So they're getting rid of all of their older guys who are on multiple year contracts or guys that they don't think are going to fit in their future plans, and they're bringing in guys on one-way contracts and building up.
Yeah, you think Ryan Donato would be a part of those future plans, though?
You would think so, yeah. I don't know exactly why he's not, but I'm not.
And then you
So,
re-sign
damn.
what a lot of people were calling one of the most underrated players in the league. Well, I guess that's Jared Spurgeon, but his partner Jonas Brodin. But and then at 7 years by $6 million,
That's pretty tough.
like these are tough moves that are hard to explain. Really,
The one bright side is that they finally have Kaprizov coming over. He finally put
Yeah.
on the jersey for the first time.
yeah. And that's the thing about those Russian rookies is you never actually know when they're going to join your team.
Yeah, because they're signed over in the KHL, and they're content
Yeah.
playing in the KHL for a couple years.
I saw a thing where it was like projected first overall pick in it was like 2 years, signs like a 5-year deal with a team in the KHL. And I'm like, well, I guess he's not the first overall pick anymore. Because no one
Yeah.
wants to draft a kid to watch him play overseas for 3 years before he joins you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's
so
true.
for a team who's trying to get younger, only having Kaprizov as your nice prospect cupboard is nice for one player, but you wish you'd see more.
I definitely agree with you on that.
They re-signed Jordan Greenway, so I guess they're saving some of their prospects there. He's looked good. And Carson Soucy, who's kind of like, I don't know if he looked great, but people in Minnesota seem to love him.
The thing about Minnesota, though, is that they have 2 first-round picks this year and 2 third-round picks this year.
Yes, that's right.
So
I do
they
like
have,
bringing in Cam Talbot.
the only problem is this is one of the weaker drafts.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you hit
Yeah.
a diamond.
Another reason why I don't like Minnesota, the one year where I'm like, get rid of your picks, Minnesota's stockpiling picks.
Yeah, that's true. And you still got
Yeah.
Parise. You still have Parise signed for 5 more years.
Yeah. Like, and Suter. Like, that is rough.
My goodness. They have
So yeah,
Spurgeon.
look out for Minnesota, but not in a good way.
They have Spurgeon and Brodeen for 7, Suter and Parise for 5, Zuccarello for 4, and then Dumba and Soucy for 3. Everyone else is under 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got
Yeah,
Talbot
a lot
for
of
3,
long contracts there.
for a lot of money.
Yeah, and just think of Jonas Brodin. So he's 27 now. His contract doesn't kick in until, I believe, he's 28.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 7-year deal. They're paying him until he's 35, $6 million. Like,
Well, they're paying Parise until he's 41.
very Minnesota. Yeah.
They're paying Spurgeon until he's 40. Oh,
I guess
my
it's hard
goodness.
not to make your contracts look bad when they're put next to those ones. Like, hey, at least they ain't Parise.
That's true.
Okay, well, that's enough attention that Minnesota deserves. Let's go on to San Jose, who lose Melker Karlsson, Aaron Dell, Joe Thornton. I like Melker Karlsson there. Aaron Dell had a tough season. Joe Thornton is just kind of a name at this point.
Thornton and Dell
You know.
went to Toronto. Carlson went overseas.
Yeah,
They're
I thought Melker
looking
Karlsson
at-
would have stayed there. He looked good.
They have
I'm
a,
sure
the
he
thing
gets a deal.
about the thing about San Jose is they have a lot of money put into their defensemen. They have 3 defensemen, over
Mhm.
$7 million a year, and then their bottom 3 are guys I've heard of never.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Radom-
thing. That summer where Carlson and Tavares got signed, they were both contracts where you're like, why? Who deserves
Yeah.
$11 million? Like, Carlson, that signing was the day that this team went downhill. Because he is injury prone and making too much money.
Yeah,
Like,
And
now,
he's still
if you're
signed for
a
7
Sharks fan,
years.
aren't you wanting to get rid of that contract? Like,
You're not gonna.
How
though. No one's
quickly
gonna
do
take
you
that
regret it?
contract. Nobody's gonna take that contract.
yeah. So you
You're paying-
re-sign...
You're paying Martin Jones 4 more years at $5.75 when he is at best a 1B.
yeah. Oh, man, boy, has he deteriorated, too.
Oh my goodness, this is just a
Remember
tough
when
team to
Boston
look
had him for, like,
at.
a day?
Yeah, I mean we got a first round pick for it.
Yeah.
Like we traded Lucic for a first round pick, and Martin Jones, and we traded Martin Jones for another first round pick. Like great moves by Don Sweeney until he drafted, and then I wanted to fire him myself.
But it's tough for San Jose because you look at last season, you're thinking, okay, who's a starting goalie? Where you're like, maybe you shouldn't be a starting goalie. You think of Martin Jones, and now his replacement, Devin Dubnyk. Like, it's just such odd choices to make. But hey, at least you benefit off of Minnesota's mistake, and you bring in Ryan Donato.
Yeah.
You re-sign Kevin LeBanc after signing that 1-by-1 deal to show what he's got. He gets 4.7. Genius move by his agent and LeBanc.
Yeah.
Turn down the money to go put up more points and demand more the next year.
I like Marcus Sorensen.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you look at their draft picks who can crack the lineup. Just the one first-round pick in 2018, Ryan Merkley.
Who has
Really?
has a bit of a attitude issue.
Yeah, can't really hold a team in the juniors because he wants to be the guy, and then management doesn't like him, and yeah, it's tough. You wish you had more prospects there for being a bad team, but hey, I guess you get to look forward to being bad in the future.
They've been a contender for a while, so at least that's what
Yeah.
I can say.
Yeah, I remember I saw on Instagram they had that chart of like playoff wins since I think the year 2000 till now, and San Jose was the only team in the top 10. I think they were like second without a cup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that just sucks if you're San Jose. You're so good for so long and get Nothing.
You know what's really funny though? Moving on to the next team, the Blues.
Yeah.
You lose Alex Pietrangelo to Vegas, and now you play him 9 or 10 times this year.
Yeah, but honestly, okay, who would you rather have? Petrangelo at, was he making 7? Or would you rather have Torrey Krug at 6.5?
Well, I'm a Bruins fan, so I would take Torrey Krug over anybody. He's one of my favorite
Exactly.
players in the league. So
I think Torrey Krug
that's
is perfectly fine to refit that position, like not as a leader, but as a very good defenseman for that team.
yeah,
So you bring in Torrey Krug, that solves that quick issue, and then Kyle Clifford too for some depth. And I think you're essentially the same team. I think your one troublesome spot, if you're the Blues, is Binnington didn't look so hot at the tail end of last year. And Jake Allen did. Like, he looked like a guy that you can rely on when Binnington was having rough patches, and now Jake Allen's gone.
but you're also missing Tarasenko, so that's a huge loss for that lineup.
That's right. I forgot about that. But
Then you
Tarasenko was
look at
also out for quite a bit of that playoff run where they won the cup. Like, I think he's always kind of been injury prone.
That's true. Yeah, I. It's hard for me to say I love them, but they're always going to be a solid team. They don't have the best looking lineup, but they always turned it out.
Yeah, one thing to look out for before the season starts is they have to re-sign Vince Dunn as an RFA.
Yeah.
And then
Well, now Mike
first round pick in
Hoffman's
2017, Klim Kostin can come play.
but they have Hoffman in on a PTO.
And on a PTO. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 numbers to St. Louis.
You know who they're going to turn to in goal when Binnington struggles?
Who?
John Gillies.
That's right. I forgot that's where John Gillies went.
Yeah.
You know, I always thought John Gillies should have at least gotten a backup job eventually in Calgary, but every single preseason, it was like him and someone else, and he looked so bad.
Yeah. He never turned out.
It was a couple of years ago where it was Mike Smith and there's Eddie Lack who was hurt, and they're like, now's an opportunity for someone in the minors. You have Parsons who won a World Juniors, Memorial Cup looked good. He couldn't even crack the team in the AHL. He's been buried in the ECHL to get some playing time. And then it was John Gillies or David Riddick, and John Gillies was letting in 7 goals every preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if he can finally land that backup job he was open for.
Now we have the Vegas, who has been in the media a lot lately, whether it's them signing guys, whether it's them putting guys on the trade block, whether it's them saying, okay, we're gonna be cap compliant, but we don't know how.
Yeah, but hey, they're now, after some subtle moves, only about $1 million over. So there is some move to be coming. Like before they were, what, like 6 over?
You know what's crazy is that they have a ton of picks too. They have New Jersey's 2nd-round pick this year. They have Winnipeg's 4th, Carolina's 5th, and next year they have Vancouver's 3rd, Winnipeg's 4th, and Buffalo's 5th. That's just in the 2 years. So they have a ton of prospects too.
Yeah, it's definitely a powerhouse in this West, and it's going to be for a while because they're a young team. You look at Shea Theodore, you look at even a guy like Mark Stone, where he's in the middle of his career. He's certainly not going to decline anytime soon.
Well, even just looking at contracts that are going to be expiring anytime soon is 1 year. They only have 2 guys that are signed for 1 year, and that being Alec Martinez and Thomas Nosek. So 2 guys that you don't have to give big money to. Mm-hmm. Martinez, like,
I think they they just re-signed Thomas Nosek. That's right.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it was just that 1 year deal.
That's to the 1 year deal that he's on right now. Yeah. But then, other than that, most of their core is locked up for at least 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, and you think of who's getting older on this team? You thought of maybe Derek Englund and Paul Stastny. Well, now they're both gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Pacioretty is now the oldest guy.
Yeah, you lose Nate Schmidt to Vancouver, but I'm perfectly fine with that deal if you're Vegas.
You're going to try and ship him out of town sooner than later, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
They're just an all-around great team. They just everyone wants to play there. They have a great arena, great fan base. They have a really good coach, a really good general manager. Like, just the whole franchise is just such a
Yeah.
good team to
They're
look at.
incredibly talented at finding those depth players to plug into the lineup. You look at Chandler Stevenson, who they brought over from Washington. He looked so good in the playoffs, and they re-signed him 4 years at 2.7. Like
Wasn't he
another
picked up
player who's kind of
on
floating around the
waivers?
league. I believe so. Like, it's just so good at finding those depth guys who can
No, he
jump
was
into the
traded.
lineup and look good.
Traded from Washington. No, it just his rights. So it must have just been yeah, they just traded his rights there. So that must be waivers? No. I don't know.
And then you have Peyton Krebs looking good in the World Juniors.
Yeah,
And
he's
he
a
was
very
that
good guy.
first round pick where he was hurt for, he was
Yeah.
going to miss basically the entirety of his junior season. And people were like, well, we don't want to draft a kid who can't play for a year. And so he fell down to Vegas. And now he's looking good. And guess what? He's healthy.
Yeah.
Like,
Washington got a
Yeah.
5th round pick for him. I was wrong. It wasn't waivers. It's a 5th round pick for him. But yeah. It's they definitely have an up and coming team. Cody Glass is a name that always pops out to me. I remember him getting drafted. I wasn't huge on
Yeah.
the pick, but if he can step in and do actually hold a place in the lineup, you never know what he could be. You have Nick Hag on the back end who also could step in because they have a pretty weak bottom two.
hmm
So Nick Hag could easily step in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, Peyton Krebs, he could always find his way in there as well.
Okay, so let's hear it. It's time for some predictions.
Okay.
Let's start with everyone's favorite 8th place team. You got them there. I have them there. I don't even have to ask twice. Arizona.
In last place?
Yeah, do you not have Arizona in last place?
I don't have Arizona in last place.
Oh, okay. I don't know how they're a bad team who don't even have picks anymore. Like, they are a basement team for
Yeah,
a while.
but they still have very good goaltending. They still have pretty much the
That's it.
same team they had last year, minus Derek Stepan. So, like, I wouldn't say they're the worst team in that division. I think
I didn't
Anaheim
think
and LA are easily worse.
Okay, fine. Who's your 8th place team?
LA.
LA. Wow, I have Anaheim as my 7th place team.
I have Anaheim as
Yeah.
my 7th place team.
Yeah.
And I have LA
as your 8th.
last.
I find that surprising.
I don't think Jonathan Quick's a good goalie. I don't think they have anyone to go back to. They're
I
just
like
getting
Cal
older.
Peterson.
Yes, okay, but I wouldn't say he's a top echelon. Like, he has a lot to prove if he wants to bring that team out of the basement.
I don't know. Okay, fine. I'm gonna make a hot take. Look out for Cal Peterson. He's
Okay,
gonna be a big
fine.
name in this league. I can see it.
Then I have Anaheim. I
Okay,
don't
so
think that they're
6th
gonna be
place,
even close to
you
the
have Anaheim.
playoffs.
I have the
No.
other California team.
In 6th place, I have Arizona.
Oh, well, I have San Jose there.
Yeah.
Little subtle improvements. They bring in Dubnyk, hopefully can be better than Jones. They bring in Ryan Donato. They re-sign LeBanc. Like, I don't think they're a bad team.
5th place, I have San Jose.
5th place. 5th place is where I have LA. You know, I think they have so many kids who can crack this lineup.
Yeah,
And
but
this
just 'cause they
league
can
is
crack
like
the
a
lineup
huge
doesn't
youth
mean-
movement league.
The thing about their team, though, is that their older guys are taking up those top 6 spots. You're not going to put Anze Kopitar or Jeff Carter in your bottom 6.
Well, I think you can if you're LA.
No, we'll see
Like,
what
you already
happens.
have Kempe, Iafallo, guys like that who is already pushing spots, pushing guys down the lineup.
Okay.
We'll see. Okay, I guess my big hot take, is LA just missing the playoffs.
I guess so.
I didn't
I
think that
have-
was much of a stretch.
No, I have Minnesota, San Jose, and Arizona all pushing for that 4th spot, but I'm giving it to Minnesota.
Yeah, I have Minnesota in that 4th spot too. Just because I didn't think they'd be that good last year, and somehow they were pushing for playoff spot. Like, before the season went to a halt, they were in the chase for that last playoff spot. Like, somehow, even with older teams, when they don't look good, they're still somewhat playing good.
In any other division, I wouldn't have Minnesota in the playoffs, but
Yeah.
because everyone below them I don't see even close, I got Minnesota at 4.
Okay, then who's your 3rd place team?
Vegas.
Wow, Vegas as your 3rd place team.
Yeah, well, the
I
top
have St. Louis.
three, I think Vegas, St. Louis, and Colorado, all three are very good options for any of those three
I
spots. I think that
I
they're
feel
all
like St.
guaranteed
Louis
playoffs.
is a bit of a tier behind Colorado and
It all
Vegas. If
depends
you look at what
on,
happened in the playoffs last year,
but it all depends on Binnington,
good
because if
old Winnington.
Binnington is as good as he's supposed to be, and as good as he's shown
Yeah.
he can be, I think St. Louis with that defensive core and their forwards, I think they can easily take second place. I haven't
Okay,
checked it,
well,
obviously.
with goalies, that's kind of like a question mark. That's why I have Colorado because they're such a good team. But Philip Grubauer and Pavel Francouz, like, are they really gonna put your team in first in that division?
I don't know.
Like, I
I
think
like.
Vegas and Colorado are two very good teams, and I'd rather have Leonard and Fleury over Grubauer and Francouz.
Yeah, you're right. Like
That's
I
kind of
said,
how I divided them.
those three teams can be. I think can all three of them can be. I think they're all going to be very, very close in the standings, and they're going to have very similar points.
Yeah, yeah, very true.
So I don't. I'm not gonna. That's what I have. I have Colorado in first, St. Louis in second, Vegas in third.
Yeah, I have Vegas, Colorado, St. Louis as my 1, 2, 3.
Hmm. Yeah. No, we're gonna. It's gonna be a very good. I think it's a very top loaded division.
Yeah, I think you have a lot of funky divisions that seem to be top heavy.
And I think with like Colorado, St. Louis, and Vegas playing LA, Anaheim, and Arizona 9 or 10 times, I think it's just going to be a
Yeah,
bloodbath.
yeah. That California
So,
road trip for those top tier teams, it's going to be a long year if you're in Anaheim.
yeah, you're no doubt.
But hey, at least you live in Anaheim, right, Shattenkirk?
Yeah, exactly. But that's pretty much all we got today. Is there anything else that you were thinking about talking about?
No, that's probably it for this Tuesday.
I agree. So, well, anyways, anyone who's listening or anyone who's watching later on, we want to just thank you guys for tuning in. Our stream was a bit late today. We just had to shuffle around some things, but it'll be posted on YouTube as well later. If you guys wanted to let anyone else know, give us a follow, give us a subscribe on YouTube, help us build our brand and help us keep moving to where we want to be.
Yeah, and then catch us later this week, and we get to do everyone's new favorite division, the North Division.
North Division, exactly. All right, guys, thanks again.
See ya.